A parent-child relationship is about the we. How do we work together? How do we support each other? How do we get what we need? Unfortunately, raising a spectrum child or any special needs child is the hardest job on the planet. Speaking from experience, talking with my mother about what it was like raising me, raising 3 spectrum children of my own, I know how exhausting it can be. I know how some days you just don't have it in you. But I also know how necessary it is to be able to communicate effectively and relate effectively with your child. Because in those moments of ongoing frustration, helplessness, not knowing what to do, we end up raising our spectrum kids on a daily diet of criticism. Not only us, the peers, the teachers. And criticism teaches you nothing about anything other than the fact that you're not good enough. You don't know what you're doing. You're not doing what you're supposed to. You're not being appropriate. That does not raise somebody to be competent in relationships. That raises somebody to feel that they are incapable, that they can't do it. They're just not up to it. They're not good enough. So what do we end up doing? We end up following. We end up following other people, listening to what we're told to think and told to do and what we're supposed to do. We are taught that in relationships, our needs don't matter, that the person we're following, they're the ones whose needs matter because they know it all. They're calling the shots. They're the ones who are neurotypical. They're normal. They know what they're doing. We don't. So we need to follow them. But ultimately, what's going to help us succeed in life is relationships that we are active participants in, that we negotiate the we part of it. So as a member of the spectrum, which I am and possibly you are, it is critical to understand what you understand about relationships, which is me. The me, the part that I want, the part that I need. It's also critical to understand what you don't know. You don't know the other 2 parts. You don't know the you, and you don't know the we. Hopefully you'll find somebody, myself or a neurotypical, who is willing to be patient, not critical, and sit down with you and help you understand the 3 parts. Willing to patiently negotiate with you so you know how it goes, how it works, how it can work. So you realize and appreciate the value of being able to be part of a negotiated partnership, a friendship, a relationship, a situation where both people's experiences are shared and are better because you did it as a we. It wasn't about getting the other person to do what I want so I can be satisfied. And it isn't about following somebody else and doing what you're told to avoid criticism so they can be satisfied. It's about working together so you can both get what you need and be better in the process. I negotiate my relationships with my wife, with my kids, with my clients, because it needs to be something that we both are better as a result of. Otherwise, neither of us wins. So overall, the key to getting where you're going is the first step. The first step in relationships and friendships is understanding that that relationship needs to be negotiated. If you're making assumptions about what the person's thinking, about what they want, about what they're gonna like, and you're not checking in with them, you're gonna mess it up. Because that's just the dialogue you're having with you. Unless you're talking to them, unless you're talking with them. There's no opportunity for you to find out what you have in common and what you want to have in common together. I know I've just touched the tip of the iceberg here. I know there's a lot. As I said, I spend months with clients on this, but I wanted to at least answer the questions that I've been getting this week. But why is it difficult to make friends? Why is it difficult to socialize? And hopefully I've been able to give you some answers to point you at least in the right direction to get you started. But if this is something you're really committed to, something that you really want, there are folks out there that can help you. People that'll work with you. People that understand what it's like, how hard it is for someone on the spectrum to figure out the you and to figure out the we. I mean, these are things I've spent the past 40 years trying to figure out. And every day I learn new things because I want my relationships to get better and better. So it's important to sit with somebody who will take the time to help you understand you. Someone who hopefully has been there, has experienced it, and understands how all that baggage can build up over time and cause you to slam on the brakes before you even get started. Because even though you might be given the right tools, the right strategies, the right opportunities, none of those tools can help you if you stand in your own way, because you're letting all that noise, all that criticism from your past do all the talking. And unfortunately, unless you can take charge of that criticism and realize that it is going to inform you to do everything that doesn't work, and what you really want is the stuff that will work. Unless you can turn that voice off and start listening with the voice that says, I don't have friends, but I'd like friends. Maybe there's nothing wrong with me. Maybe there's just something wrong with what I'm doing. And I don't have friends now, but I can have friends if I learn how to do friends. In other words, all this criticism, all this negative past might be your reality, but is by no means your destiny. You can learn to do things differently. I've learned it. I teach it. It's possible. It's doable. It's hard. But it's necessary if you want to have the relationships in life that you need to have a life as rich and fulfilling, as meaningful as possible. And one last thing about criticism. Yeah, I'm sure some nasty things have been said to you over the years. I won't even begin to tell you the language people have used to talk to me over the years. But even though a person might say something mean to you once or twice, who ultimately does the most criticizing? You do. When you take what they've said one time and you repeat it in your head over and over and over and over again until you've beaten yourself down so much that you no longer think that life can be any better than it has ever been. It's when you start ignoring that voice and listening to the one that says, I can, but I don't know how. I can do it if I'm taught how to do it. I can do it if I learn the beliefs about how a relationship works. The beliefs that relationships have 3 parts, not just my part. And then commit yourself to doing the work, to learning what is needed, to learn how to negotiate, self-advocate, do your part in making a relationship work. Again, it's not easy, but it's doable. And if you want to do these things, find somebody who'll do it with you. Someone who wants to take the time to do the we, because the we is what makes all the difference. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope this has been helpful for you. And until next time, I'm Brian King. Visit me on my website, spectrummentor.com, and we'll talk to you again soon.